Good morning, it is Friday the 24th of October and it's just coming up to about 11:15. So yeah, I haven't had any me school contract work today, so they've broke up now for obviously the holidays. So I'm obviously not going to be doing that today, nor am I going to be doing it next week. So it's quite lucky really, because I had a job booked in which was like early hours this morning, and then another job had initially been booked in, I think for around 8ish, but I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it because I had the school contract work, but I forgot that they were breaking up today. I thought it was the last day. So anyway, I've been out and I've had 2 private jobs, which is good because like I said, I'm not doing the school contract work today. And yes, I've pretty much just finished with that. Just had a little bit of running around to do for the past 20 minutes or so. So I've sorted that, and I thought, well, now I'm out, it's chucking it down, it's freezing cold, might as well go out and see if anything's happening on Uber. So I know it's the daytime, I know it's not even 11 o'clock yet, it's a weekday, it's going to be quiet. Plus, you know, the kids have broke up now, most of them anyway. I know some will still be in, but yeah, I'll see what's happening anyway, and I'll be sticking out for longer than an hour than yesterday anyway. So yeah, I'll keep you updated shortly. So it's just coming up to about midday, so it's been about an hour. Hasn't been too bad, I suppose. I've only done 3 jobs. So first job, I had to turn around where it was. Does this do the same thing to anybody else? So I think it comes up on like Trip Radar. Job pops up, I'm like 0.1 of a mile away, so I know no one's going to be any closer than me. I'm out in the sticks, so I accept the job. It does its usual little thing where it thinks about it, keeps thinking, and then eventually it just says, oh no jobs available, you know. So basically it's gone to somebody else. So I carry on driving down the road. 20 seconds later, the same job then pops up, but now it's exclusive to me and it's about 20 pence cheaper. And then you click on it and it says, okay, now you can go to them. So it's like, well, why does it do that all the time? Or a lot of the time it'll come up, you'll click accept, it doesn't give you the job. 20 seconds later, the same job pops up again on Trip Radar. So you accept the job again, it doesn't give you the job. And then 20 seconds later, it pops back up again. It's just like, what is going on? So anyway, I accepted that. It was a little tiny £7.39. It was a 16-minute job going 6.1 miles. So that was like Bearsco going over to Skelmersdale. So yeah, she got in. I was just like the usual, you know, you off out to work, you studying or something? And she was like, oh no, I'm off to have my first smear test. And like starts like, I had like a little bit of an awkward giggle, and I was like, oh right. So I was kind of thinking, all right, your first one? And she was like, oh yeah, a little bit worried about it and all that. I was like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Didn't really know what to say, to be honest. And then after a couple of minutes, she then gets a phone call. She's one of them people where she only speaks on loudspeaker. I don't know if this is like a new sort of thing, like the younger ones are doing. So she's talking away, but I missed the first bit, but it sounded like it was one of them ones where it says, this call is coming from, you know, Her Majesty's, you know, prison, blah, blah, blah. If you would like to accept the call, press 1. So she answered. So she's on the phone to a fella who's in prison. And she's like, yeah, I'm just on my way to have a smear test and all this. So I was just like, what's going on here in the world? So anyway, I dropped her off, and then I had a job which was like 2 streets away, so I took it, £3.78. It was a 3-minute job going 1.2 miles. So she was off studying. She's going to be a music teacher or something. Wasn't too bad. So then I was coming out of Skelmersdale. I got a job there. It was all the way back in Bearsco, coming back into Ormskirk. So it took me 10 minutes to get there and 10 minutes to get into Ormskirk. That's how long the job was, 10 minutes 41. It was £9.20 going 3.2 miles. So I thought I'll take it because it was the biggest job I've been offered, and it's going to take me about 20 minutes. So in all fairness, that would put you on to almost like £30 an hour if those sorts of jobs were coming through. So yeah, I'm an hour in, I've done 3 jobs and I'm on £20 and 37 pence. So yeah, not horrendous to be honest for the time of day it is, and it's a weekday. So I'll see what happens over the next hour. So it's just come up to 1 o'clock and it's been really slow. So where was I? I dropped off in Ormskirk, done my update, and then ended up accepting a job which was kind of outskirts of Southport, going into Southport. So I thought I'd take that. It was £8.59. It was an 18-minute job going 4.3 miles. So it was crap, to be honest. And then that dropped me off. I was speaking to a guy. He was asking about like, how do you do like YouTube and stuff, because he's seen like me Insta360. So I was talking to him about that, and he was saying because he does TikTok. He's only like a youngish lad, probably 20. He does TikTok and whatnot, but he does the Pokemon cards, like the pull cards and stuff like that. So yeah, he says he's got no interest in it. He said it's basically just for kids. He said, but it makes money. He said he's made about £1,000 off it in the past month, just basically buying cards. So I took him to a shop, and he's come out and he's went and bought like £150 worth of Pokemon cards. He said they're normally sold out everywhere, so he managed to get some from there. He said it was the other week he went over to, he was in Paris, and he bought some over there. One was worth like 200 quid and one was worth 50 quid. So yeah, that's pretty much just what he does for a living, is TikToking Pokemon cards. So I dropped him off anyway, and then just round the corner got a little job, which was taking these two young girls and a baby to Asda, where I am now. So I've just dropped them off, and that was £5.97, and that was a 13-minute job going 3.6 miles. So I've only been offered 2 jobs in the past hour, which came to like £13 something. So yeah, really slow and quiet. Now I'm in Southport. So 2 hours in, just shy of £35. So I'm on like what, £17.50 an hour. See what the next hour. So it's just turned 3 o'clock. It's been 2 hours since the last update. It's been taken over. It's still a bit rubbish. I think what's helped a little bit is obviously the rain. It's just like a monsoon every 5 minutes, and then it stops and then it starts raining again. So yeah, we were where was we? I don't even know where we was after the last update. Were we towards? I think we were around Southport somewhere. Yeah. So the next job after that was a little Southport to Southport, £4.10p. It was a 6-minute job going 1.3 miles. I then had a cash job, which was Southport going back to, it was Ormskirk, but it was the outskirts of Ormskirk. Yeah, so I was taking her down, and then I think she was talking about, I think she'd asked, did I know how much it was going to be, because it was Uber cash, and I said, oh, we don't know obviously until the end, until we clear. She said, oh, because I've got some Uber credits as well. And I said, yeah, because obviously, you know, you get your change in your Uber credits and blah, blah, blah. So she was like, oh, have you not got change for a £20 note then? I said, no. I said, I don't carry change. I said, and this is what causes the confusion. I said, because as an Uber driver, you don't need to carry cash. Some drivers decide to do it because maybe they've just got used to that over the years. Some say they do it because they don't want any sorts of arguments and whatnot when a customer is expecting change. But at the end of the day, with Uber, it's cashless. To get Uber credits, I think Uber credits is a little bit rubbish. Like, if it was me, I would rather have me change, to be honest, because I don't know, it might be another 6 months until I get you know, another Uber. But at the end of the day, they're Uber's rules. So if a driver decides to hand out change, well, you know, that's up to them, type of thing. But what happens then is customers then think, well, am I going to get change, or am I going to get Uber credits? Or some passengers just think, oh no, I get change. And then I've had passengers in the back where some think they're going to get change, and then their friends are explaining to them, no, you get Uber credits. So I've said it a million times, I wish drivers would stop handing out change and just say, you get Uber credits. It makes everyone's life easier. So anyway, I explained that to her. She said, oh, I haven't got any change. Is it okay if we stop at the petrol station? So we stopped there for a second while she ran in, bought a drink and got some change, basically. So yeah, dropped her off. I think it came to cash collected £11.05. So it did charge her more. I think she paid like £13 something. She had £2.60 of Uber credits, so that was obviously deducted. Then there was a 55p waiting time for her to come out when I picked her up. So I had to collect £11.05 in cash off her, and then I got £10.92. So it wasn't too bad because it was like a 20-minute job. Where was we then? I dropped her off, and it was like, what, 10 to was about 10 to 2 at that point, so that's all I really done in that first hour was them 2 jobs. So it was like, what, about £14, so it was crap. And then bang on, like, it was like 5 to 2, and then I had a job which was Tarleton, which wasn't too far from where I was, going back into Southport. Came up as a surge, £17.11. It was a 17-minute job going 8 miles, but then I had to probably drive, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes towards it, so it was probably like a 25-minute job. But it wasn't too bad because where I was, which was kind of like Rufford way, it's right on the outskirts of Ormskirk, and then Tarleton's just kind of a little bit further along, so it wasn't too bad. That brought me back into Southport. So they were climbing out. I was like, yeah, you know, enjoy your evening what you can with the rain. He was like, you're joking, aren't you? He said, we're going to be home in about 4 hours. He said, with a kebab. He said, I'm too old to be staying out past 6 o'clock now. So they got out, and then I got another little tiny job, £4.15, 6-minute job going 1 mile. Dropped them off, got a little job in the street next to it, £4.11, going 2 minutes. It was only half a mile away, so it was like an elderly guy going to see his wife in a care home. He normally drives, but he had like a knee operation, so he can't. He's been told he's not allowed to drive for like 6 weeks. But I got into that usual thing with him where, you know, Uber's telling you to, you know, turn left, go down this road, and it was saying it was basically what was it now? I think this was the job before, to be honest. It was basically saying it was like 5 minutes and it was like 0.9 of a mile or something. And so I've got my left indicator on, I'm starting to turn left. He's going, oh no, you turn right here. I was like, are you sure? Because it's telling me to turn left. No, definitely this is the quickest way. So it's like, okay. So I turned right. It ended up being 1.4 miles in 6 minutes. I said, just so you know, in future reference, every time you turn right, it's almost half a mile longer, and it's adding 2 minutes onto your trip every day of your life. Every time you go and see your missus, if you turn right, that's the longer route. And he was like, oh bloody hell, I had no idea. It's just, I've said it all my life, to be honest, but I've said it a lot in these videos over the past 12 months. People just get stuck in the ways. This is the shortest route. It's not. It's like, use a sat nav, but some people are just like dead set against them. So in that last hour, granted I stole 5 minutes from the hour before. That was like 21, 25, it was like £25.50. So it did improve a little bit. So anyway, I'm 4 hours in and I'm on 75.32. So over the 4 hours, £18.80. So it is climbing slowly. That first hour, it was 20, wasn't it? It dropped to 17, and now I'm back up to like £18.80. So it's kind of in and around there. Like I said, what's helped a lot is it is cold. It's saying it's 11 degrees. It's not, because it's so windy. It's freezing, but it's throwing it down every 5 minutes. So I'm in Southport now. I'll go back on, and turned 4:30, and I've had enough. So last update was 3 o'clock, and I was in Southport. So I had a little tiny job, Southport to Southport, £5.09, 8-minute job, going 1.6 miles. Then had another Southport, £5.19. That was an 11-minute job, going 3.3 miles. Customer cancelled. And was that about it for that hour? Let's have a look. They kind of go quiet. I took that at 1:45. Yeah, so I've done them 2 jobs. That took me to like 3:40ish. And then I took a job at 20 to 4, including a £3 tip. It brought me back to Ormskirk. That's what I thought to take it. So it was, with the £3 tip, it came to £18.17. It's a half an hour job. It was a surge, and it was increased 8.9 miles. So I've just dropped that guy off, just pulled up to do this little update just before I start heading home. Yeah, and that was about it. It just seems to have just gone a little bit too quiet. Don't get me wrong, it might pick up a little bit going on towards the evening, but if I'm coming out and I've done that, the majority of that hour there, it was like £10. It was only that because that last job, it was like half decent, because it was like a half an hour, and the fact that he's like throwing a £3 tip on top of it as well. So up to now, or for this video should I say, I've done I've done 5.5 hours, and I finished on £103.77. So that works out at £18.86 an hour. So yeah, as you can see, when I mentioned before, started off on 20, dropped to 17, and then after another 2 hours it was around 18, and then after almost another 2 hours it was still 18. So yeah, granted, you know, I could stay out for another 2, 4, whatever hours, and it might just stay at around that 18. But I don't know if it's a combination of, because school's either finished for a lot of people, it's finishing today for the rest, and there just doesn't really seem to be much going on, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just going to call it a night there, to be honest, and I will I'll be back out tomorrow, and I'll do a longer shift tomorrow. So I'll catch you on tomorrow's video.